Welcome to QSR Nation, your weekly dose of food service marketing tips and business strategies for success. Here's your hosts, Josh Anderson, Beth Oots, and Anthony Pierce from the PFS Brands National Headquarters.
Hey everybody, welcome back to QSR Nation. As always, we have Josh, Beth, and Tony here from the PFS Brands National Headquarters in Tulsa, Missouri to talk about food service marketing and business strategies for success. Today we're super pumped. We have Carrie Luxem back on the show once again. She is the restaurant HR guru, so to speak. She was in episode 61 and 62, so you can always go back and listen to those if you want some more great information on that. So welcome back, Carrie.
Thank you, guys. So fun to be back.
We're so happy to have you back.
Thank you.
Would you like to give us a little quick background?
Sure, absolutely. So the quick version of my background, I spent almost over a decade with Potbelly Sandwich Works, started the HR department there. There were just a few restaurants in one market, stayed for a long time, almost 11 years, and we grew to over 200 restaurants in many markets, and I really kind of grew up there and really started to understand how to support restaurant operators. And then I left there and I started my own company, which is Restaurant HR Group, where we handle the HR, payroll, and benefits administration for only restaurants throughout the country. And over the last couple years, I have started CarrieLuxem.com, which is a platform, a membership platform, where I offer up unlimited access to many tools and videos and articles and compliance updates and training and all kinds of things. So that's the very quick version of my background. I have written a book that is called Restaurant Operators HR Playbook, and I'm really just in the business of creating tools and resources to help restaurateurs, whether it be large restaurant groups or independent restaurateurs, with leadership and building simple and easy to understand processes and systems throughout their restaurants.
Well, and you've done a great job with it. I know we talked in the last time you were on the show about, your company, our company, we just have a strong passion for just trying to elevate the industry and, folks to take advantage of the opportunities they have through the podcast, through your tools, through all the different things that are out there, just to present a better experience for the consumers, better opportunity for the folks in the trenches that are working in the food service industry, and then overall just, great time enjoying being together and hanging out and making some money and serving up some food. So,
yep, great. Yeah, it's such an amazing industry, and so whatever we can do to help it be the best is what my goal is overall.
Well, there's so many people out there that think that this type of industry, it's so fast-paced, it's changing all the time, but the tools that you provide they just bring us back to the basics, and it's the information that everyone needs to understand and everyone needs to know to make sure that they are staying up to date with the changing business, but you're also able to have that foundation and move forward in a successful way.
Yeah, I mean, Beth, I totally agree with you. I mean, it's all about keeping it basic. Any brand that I've ever worked with, they get real fancy, right? They grow and they add all of these initiatives and projects, and almost always at some point in their evolution, they say we need to get back to the basics. And so I am just all about simplicity. It doesn't need to be overly complicated, no matter what you're doing. When I think of my world and how I support operators, it's really through the life cycle of an employee. So how do you go about recruiting and hiring them? How do you onboard them? How do you manage their performance? How do you understand the payroll, the benefits, all of these pieces, the compliance, the legalities, and then through terminating them and really creating a simple process for doing that, so systems and processes, and then hiring good-hearted, hard-working people that are going to lead the charge, so it's leadership and systems, and it really is that basic. And when people want to make it more complicated, they just have too much time on their hands or something, It's like, just keep it basic. And the brands that I work with and the operators that I support, again, whether it's an independent restaurateur or it's a franchisee or if it's a larger group, the ones that really just keep it simple, keep really understand who they are, really stay focused on their vision and their mission, and they really understand the value of their people, those are the ones that have better success. They make more money, they have less turnover, they can impact their restaurants, their community, the world at a different level.
Well, that makes absolute sense, and that's just a great way to get back to the basics, basically. That leads us. That's a great segue of kind of what we really wanted to discuss today: 7 reasons why your employees don't care, and how to fix that, and how to get them engaged.
Yeah, and I think this is a very good example of these are things that when we talk about them, it's like, yeah, oh, okay, obviously, but sometimes some of these common or obvious things are just not happening. So, I mean, on a very regular basis, I hear managers or owners of restaurants talk about these employees and their bad attitudes, and people are unmotivated, and I can't, it's generational. There's all kinds of excuses for why employees are not doing what they need to be doing. And I think there's so much that a manager or an owner can do that's really simple in one regard, and it just takes a lot of dedication and thought and accountability to make it happen. So, if an operator works hard enough and they care enough, they are going to be able to change the dynamic of their team. So you talked about the fact that I'm going to go over 7 things. I mean, there's a lot of things that you can do. I sort of narrowed it down to these general 7 things. And the first thing is, one of the reasons that people, are not engaged or not happy is they really don't have a true connection to the company. They just, and this is so much more common, whether it's a big company or a small company, they just don't feel any connection outside of their paycheck. And employees have to know that they're an important role in the company. They play a significant role in the company. So when they don't, is when they're always looking for something else, or they just don't have that loyalty, and they're not going to bring their best game to work every single day. So when I think about this, not having a connection to the company, like how do you get your employees to connect to your company? And I think first and foremost, you really need to integrate your company's vision and your mission and your purpose. People spend time creating these, which is it's very important, but you've got to incorporate the everyday actions into the restaurants. You can't just put this up on a whiteboard or in the back of the house that this is our mission, this is our vision. You've got to live it every single day. And I think making sure that your people really understand what these things are and what it sort of means to them, and providing them ongoing education on this or support. I'm a small company. I tap into the emotions of my team all the time and really make sure they understand what is my true vision for our company, and how do you as an HR generalist play a role in our big picture goals and dreams. And so really understanding how to do that. And managers might not really understand the vision. They may not understand the mission. So making sure that your leaders, the store level leaders or the multi-level leaders, really understand truly what are the ideals? What are your values? What are you coming to work? What are you doing this for every single day? I think that's hugely important.
Well, exactly. The culture will actually spawn that personal commitment. And that's something that we see with our company, and we talk about our culture. We try to execute it the best of our abilities on a daily basis. And at the end of the day, if leadership understands what the vision is, like you're saying, and whether it's top level, mid level, entry level, whatever, and actually live it out so people can actually find a way to connect, and give that personal commitment of hey, we're all one goal, one mission. Let's make this happen. That I think helps shore up that connection to the company. If you actually, like you're saying, live out your culture, you don't just put it on a pretty plaque or on the back of a T-shirt and say, hey, that's who we are.
Absolutely. I remember once, this was many years ago, I had a client, and they were really struggling with trying to get people to connect. And when I heard that the owner was like reprimanding people for not memorizing their vision. Like this is the problem. It's about memorizing that paragraph. It's not really understanding what you're doing. And the fact that he was disciplining hourly employees for not memorizing it was a whole different situation.
Yeah.
But it isn't about memorizing the sentences or having it, like you said, on a T-shirt. It's really about living it. And sometimes I think that leaders just think that people understand it as well as they do because they understand it. So really having dialogue and opening things up and doing things, activities, whether it doesn't have to be parties and stuff like that, but just living out whatever it is your goals are. How do you get people to feel and to understand what you're trying to do? And it's, like I said, it's simple, but it's not always easy. It's simple to say to do it, but it takes a huge commitment to wake up every single day and to go in and live your vision and your mission and your purpose. And the truth is we get tired. We're running businesses. Restaurants are a lot of hard work, and it's easy to just get into that rut where you're just running operations and trying to make more money. But if you can really look at the bigger picture and the purpose, then you're going to be way ahead.
Be sure to tune in next week as we continue our discussion with Carrie Luxem.
Stop by next week for another QSR Nation episode or visit pfsbrands.com.